We'll let Coach make an opening statement, and then Derek, are you gonna help with the microphone? Derek, and then, so just ask Derek for the microphone when you're ready to ask questions. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, that's why we play these games. Put people in the stands and turn on the lights and see an opponent that's extremely well coached, extremely disciplined. We knew coming in that Lewis shot the cover off of it. They had a scrimmage, I guess, where they swung up 35 or 36 threes, and we knew that was a real strength of them. I thought the first 10 or 12 possessions, we tried to hit a grand slam on every play. We either tried to hit a 3 after 1 pass, or 2 passes, or throw the ball inside the Kofi when it wasn't there. Our ball movement, our flow wasn't very good. We were just out of sorts and in a hurry. That being said, even though they were 5 of 6 from the 3-point line early, a couple of them were banked in. I felt pretty good about our defensive effort and execution. We lost, I don't know how to pronounce his name, know his number. Lost a big kid, Anthony. We lost him a couple times in transition, which we talked specifically about not doing. But I give them credit, and then I liked the ball movement the second half. Very, very disappointed in our turnovers. We can't turn the ball over. And again, I thought Trent got us going offensively, and I thought Andres Feliz was unbelievable at both ends of the court again. We made a little adjustment at half with him defensively on their point guard, and he's a pit bull, and just took their point guard out.
Questions?
Does Benjamin miss shots in practice?
Yes, yes, a lot of them. And I'll mention this about Ben. Today was his 5th full day of being able to participate with unrestricted time. He'd been in practice with time restrictions. He did play a few minutes in the South Carolina scrimmage, but his knowledge and his understanding and his IQ of picking things up is off the chart. I was more impressed defensively. Yes, he made shots, but I was more impressed, and he's a very, very good shooter. But his defensive effort was sensational.
Right, what went into that starting lineup? Is that something you like, or is that just tinkering around?
Exhibition, it's just looking. I've been all over the place with lineups and looking and experimenting. Those are 4 guys who've been through a lot of the battles, and then through Kofi in, because I know I want to play big. So some things I like about it, some things I don't. But we'll continue. It gives us a starting point, and now we can continue to work on those things.
As you transition a little bit to be more, you used Georgie in the post last year, but obviously with Kofi and Georgie, it's a different beast this year. Is it kind of be a growing pains as you go through with these guys understanding that to use the post and when it's open and look inside as opposed to they were more perimeter oriented last year. Is that going to be take some time?
Oh, there's no doubt. I think that I thought Georgie played in too big a hurry tonight, something he has not been doing. I thought he tried too hard to get the ball to Kofi instead of just reading the play and making the right play. And yet I thought Georgie did a great job of finding his opportunities for post-ups, especially in the first half. Kofi gave him a nice high-low pass. Again, once we moved the ball, I felt pretty good about that. But I think one of the grave and big differences, and we talked about this with our guys at the South Carolina scrimmage. We opened up inside, and it was foul, or bucket, and then everything else got going on the perimeter. And tonight we were just the opposite. And I mean, 2 for 11, wasn't quite what we were looking for from the three, but we'll grow into those areas. But that being said, Brad, I was really proud defensively because it gave us a chance to still be in the game.
Brad, it looked like late in the first half there, Andres came back in after a sub and just maybe settled things down. I mean, what do you notice about the other 4 guys on the court when he's out there and kind of brings that level-headedness maybe?
Yeah, IQ. I mean, he's so stable. I mean, it's very comforting. I don't like looking over and seeing him sitting on the bench, and yet I know how hard he works, and I know, we made a simple adjustment in the second half on what he does on the point guard, picking him up full court and causing some problems. He was going to get tired, and but yet no turnovers. In our South Carolina scrimmage, 5 assists, 1 turnover, and that's with somebody in your jersey for 40 minutes. And so, yeah, it's comforting as a coach. And I think it's comforting for our other players. And he does it on both ends.
We know what Kofi was able to do in the paint tonight, but the fact that he only had 1 foul, just what throughout in his first game, what does that just say where he is mentally? He was just trying to be in the right place defensively and not try to do too much, and like a lot of freshmen do, and get in foul trouble.
Yeah, I think that we've talked to him maybe too much about it. His 1 foul was offensively, and he had a couple in our scrimmage as well. But I needed to go challenge a couple things at the rim, which I was disappointed. And we got to show him on film where there's a couple plays in the paint in the first half. Go challenge that. If you happen to commit one, it's okay. But it's knowing where they need to know where you're at. They need to feel your presence. So, but yeah, Kofi's very cerebral, no doubt about that. And he likes playing, so he doesn't want to foul.
Brad, is there anything you've learned about this team through these couple exhibitions that surprises you?
Yeah, I mean, I love our versatility. I think we can play bigger. I think we can play smaller. I thought, I've been really pleased with DeMonte. I've been really pleased with Kipper. Everybody talks about the other guys. Allen had a tough night tonight, but Allen has been sensational. Was really, really good in South Carolina. He'll bounce back. So we're still trying to figure all this out with some of the new guys, and now you get Benjamin more comfortable in playing. And I thought Jermaine did some great things defensively as well. So we're a team who's played some young guys, and they're growing. We're getting better.
With Ben just being in his 5th day full go, was it the idea to maybe manage his minutes a little bit tonight and not use him till you did?
No, I wanted to play him in the first half, but we got off to such a bad start that I probably should have put him in, but it was just I needed those guys in the first half, to be quite honest. Scott, I needed those guys in the first half to play through some difficulty and to play through some challenges and learn to figure it out on their own. I debated about calling the timeout. I did. Probably wish I hadn't. They need to figure some of that out on their own. But yeah, Ben's been terrific, and I think we can see some of the things that he has and the tools that he has.
Brad, what do you want to have to take from this tournament?
I don't ever have to worry about Io. Io's going to be out there at 10:30 in the morning when we practice, and tough shooting night and whatever. But I know this: the bigger the game, the better he plays, and he's been a rock.
Brad, you said Jermaine did some good things defensively. He had very few minutes, a couple of turnovers. How much do you expect him to be a part of the game playing time this year?
I don't know. I know it's nice having him. I don't know. Let's not forget Jermaine wasn't with us in Italy. He was not with us all summer. He's learning. He's growing. His jump in the last 5 or 6 days has been remarkable. He's all of a sudden the lights coming on, and he's starting to see how he can impact our team. So I've been really, really pleased with him.
Going into this year, you wanted to cut down on the number of fouls through the 2 exhibitions. Have you been happy with that? I mean, you didn't have as many tonight, and I obviously we don't know with South Carolina, but are you pleased with where you're at right there?
We shot twice as many as they did in South Carolina. So, it's been a big focus. It's been a big focus. And, Trent had a couple tonight that we got to cut out. Just bad reaching fouls. We're trying to get away from those. But yeah, if you can keep your opponent off the free throw line, and what were they tonight? 2 of 6. That gives you a chance every night, every single night.
We saw during stints with Kofi, you guys doing 2-3 zone. Is that something just focused around Kofi during those situations?
You'll see it periodically. I mean, it's. I'm really big in trying to steal a possession. You start looking at an out of bounds situation or a side out where there's a shorter clock. You can try to steal a possession and or come out of a timeout, change a defense or whatever. We were pretty vanilla tonight in that. We were more concerned with trying to establish. And really, my biggest curiosity tonight was guarding perimeter guys with our 4s and 5s, and that was much better the second half than it was the first. But again, you'll see us mix some of that up at different times. See you on Tuesday.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, our next media for Coach will be Monday after Coach Smith at the press box. So
Players